Welcome back to MPWF Metal, ladies and gentlemen. And before the break, you just saw the promo to the World's Heavyweight Championship. I guarantee you that just got you pumped out of your mind for SummerSlam. That was one hell of a promo, wasn't it? Yeah. Comment in the section below, because I know you're going to. I know you enjoyed the hell out of that promo. But what we got right here, up next, Brian Adams will take on Shaun Shane Stevens. Now this is an interesting situation. Michelle McCool believes that she's the queen of wrestling. Michelle McCool, who is sick and twisted in her own ways, assaulted Chandrella Johnson with a metal pole. Now obviously Shaun Stevens and Chandrella Johnson have a closer relationship than we thought before. We thought they were just friends, but the assault of Chandrella Johnson, which ended up her with a dislocated jaw and some broken ribs, has sent Shaun Shane Stevens over the edge. This is a new Shaun Shane Stevens we've never ever seen in our lives, and Brian Adams, thanks to Michelle McCool's actions, is going to have to deal with this. But Brian Adams feels that he's going to be in perfect control of this. Brian Adams feels that once he gets rid of the, as he called early on before the show, the little toe rag Shaun Shane Stevens, once he deals with him, he's going to go after the in and out of the MPWF Championship. But then we have Shaun Shane Stevens, who is now in a completely different attire. As we see him, he's usually a more flamboyant superstar, a more confident superstar. Shaun Shane Stevens knows now he wants to just absolutely destroy Brian Adams. He's focused on one thing, and that's making Michelle McCool pay. And from his own mouth, from what we heard Shaun Shane Stevens say on SmackDown, he said to Brian Adams that I am going to do to you what Michelle McCool did to Chandrella Johnson. And if Shaun Shane Stevens does that, Brian Adams could be out for a long time. And I know that Shaun Shane Stevens is in an extremely emotional state. That is why I stress to Shaun Stevens to think about what you do tonight. Think about this match. Wrestle it. Just defeat Brian Adams and move on up in the MPWF. Don't waste your career, your life. Don't end up going to jail trying to destroy Brian Adams in this matchup. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anyone who can reason with Shaun Shane Stevens. And the only person who can do that is right now in a hospital bed somewhere, seriously injured. And look at Shaun Stevens right out the gate, attacking Brian Adams. Brian Adams is going to have to get out the ring. If Brian Adams wants to survive this matchup, he's going to have to hit and run and then try and ground Shaun Shane Stevens. Look at that with the Pele kicks. Shaun Stevens is not even aiming with those punches. He's just swinging madly at Brian Adams. And a waist lock. Oh, beautiful head scissors DDT there by Shaun Shane Stevens. I mean, Shaun Shane Stevens is in such an emotional state right now. He's so pissed off, but that doesn't change the fact that he's athletic as hell, and he'll pull out some of the most athletic moves you've seen ever in core wrestling. And I think that was an unintentional shot there to Michelle McCool. Michelle McCool not happy though. Brian Adams is in a bad situation right now, kicking out of Shaun Shane Stevens. I mean, Brian Adams only had to expect that Shaun Shane Stevens was going to come at him like this, and now Brian Adams fighting back, using the bigger frame of his, and now escaping, trying to get a breather, trying to stay away from Stevens. And this crowd here in Barbados is all over Shaun Shane Stevens. They want him to beat the hell out of Brian Adams, and vaulting body press set by Shaun Shane Stevens. Just dives out and attacks Brian Adams. Now Irish whip into the barricade, and he's bouncing the face of Brian Adams off the barricade, and he's gonna beat the hell out of him. Oh no, look at these constant shots there by Shaun Shane Stevens. He is not worried about messing up Brian Adams' face whatsoever. And Shaun Shane Stevens, think about this. Think about this. In Michelle McCool's face, and the distraction, and Brian Adams is able to capitalize. Michelle McCool, look at that Jezebel sitting outside the ring, happy with her actions, happy with what she did to Chandrella Johnson, and what a shot there. Huge kick there by Brian Adams. Oh my god. This matchup is so intense. This rivalry is getting extremely personal. And Shaun Shane Stevens just gets the shoulder up. And I mean, this crowd in Barbados is solely behind the former Cruiserweight champion, Shaun Shane Stevens. And now Brian Adams, Irish whip, sends Shaun Shane Stevens back in the turnbuckle. What a punch. What a punch. Just drops Stevens. And now look at Brian Adams unleashing some anger of his own. You think Brian Adams likes to keep getting beat up like this? You think he likes that Shaun Shane Stevens is jumping out the gates to attack him? And you see, this is one of the reasons why I don't understand why Brian Adams is with Michelle McCool. Look at the pain and distress she's causing him. Brian Adams wants to be a champion. Michelle McCool has a man who wants to kill him now, and Brian Adams didn't even do anything. A huge elbow drop off the top turnbuckle though by Adams. Going for cover, trying to end this match quickly. 2, 3. Stevens just gets the shoulder up. Kick there by Brian Adams, bouncing off the rope. Oh, huge tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there by Shaun Stevens. And now Stevens back inside. Irish whip. Oh, huge clothesline taking Bryan Adams outside the ring. And now Shaun Stevens doing the turnbuckle. That's a steel chair Michelle McCool put out there during Stevens' entrance. And the vaulting body press misses. Stevens crashes and burns. And now Bryan Adams back in control. Irish whip. Oh, sending Stevens right into the steel ring steps. And now a huge punch. Bryan Adams now looking like he wants to toy with Stevens. And a huge elbow and a head scissors by Stevens. And that is not a smart idea by Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams wants to end this match as fast as possible. And now, Bryan Adams stopped by the chair. Bryan Adams checking himself in. Oh, huge spinning wheel kick there by Shaun Stevens off the top rope. And that's what I said before it. Oh, steel chair to the face. Wait, this match he's been disqualified. This match is being rang out. And Stevens continuing the assault. I told you he'd snap. I called it. I told you he'd snap. Just hit Bryan Adams with a steel chair. Bryan Adams has won this matchup by disqualifications, and Shaun Stevens is continuing his beatdown. And now Shaun pounding away at Bryan Adams. Referee needs to try and stop this. Referee on the outside trying to calm Shaun Stevens down. And what a huge drops out there. And Michelle McCool is flipping out. She's flipping shit outside the ring. And now Shaun Stevens. What the hell is he trying to do here? Oh, what a punch to Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams' brains were just scrambled with that steel chair shot. And Shaun Stevens just beating the hell out of Bryan Adams. And, reverse neckbreaker DDT there by Stevens. Stevens has lost it. Stevens has lost it. And that's the Kodak moment. That's the Kodak moment. And is he done? Is he done yet? No, he's just watching him methodically. Just watching him methodically, and he's not done yet. And now he's picked up the steel ring bell. Bryan Adams gets up. Oh, what a shot there by Stevens. Just drops Bryan Adams, and there's nothing Michelle McCool can do. Michelle McCool is in tears right now. Her man Bryan Adams is getting the hell beat out of him. Oh, this is your fault, Michelle. This is your fault. And Shaun Stevens is running. He's cooling it off. Oh my God. Oh my God. And now Bryan Adams trying to get up, and another shot with a ring bell. Just non-stop shots. And now look at these punches. Mounted ground and pound. And Bryan Adams is busted wide open. Jesus Christ. He is busted wide open. And Stevens is now just pacing back and forth, breathing heavily. I have never ever seen Shaun Stevens in this state. And again, look at him, just beating the hell out of Bryan Adams. Bryan Adams can't even stand. Bryan Adams can't even stand. Now he's got that steel ring bell up one more time, and one more shot to the face. One more shot to the face. There's Shaun Stevens. And Bryan Adams is lying in a pool of his own blood. And the referee cannot do anything to stop this. Michelle McCool can't do anything to stop this. And a Sabu leg drop with a steel chair. Good Lord. Bryan Adams can't even stand. And now, Shaun Stevens setting that steel chair up in a position he wanted in the turnbuckle. And now Irish whipping. Bryan Adams can't even defend himself. Bryan Adams can't even defend himself. And this crowd is kind of full and silent. They don't even know what to think. And now Shaun Stevens is just still continuing this beatdown, this assault on Bryan Adams. Unfortunately, Bryan Adams has done some despicable things, but he doesn't even deserve this. Shaun Stevens beating the living hell out of Bryan Adams. And now, here comes that swinging neckbreaker DDT. Oh my God. What more can Stevens do to Bryan Adams now? Bryan Adams can't even move. Bryan Adams can't even move right now. And now Stevens, and there's a crippler crossface. There's a crippler crossface. There's a crippler crossface. And Bryan Adams tapping out. Tapping out. And Shaun Stevens might have just destroyed Bryan Adams. All that pent-up emotion, all that pent-up rage and anger was just unleashed on Bryan Adams. Oh my God, he's gonna have to pay for his actions. I can't condone that.